morning. Todd and Erin Morning thing on whatever.
It was a long day yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Do we want to talk about that now, or do we want to go to the mountain
first thing we
camp?
want to do is say good morning to everybody on Facebook. It's nice to see you too. Morning Mountain Cam today, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Of course, they are electric, plumbing, heating, and air. Look at this. Look how calm it looks.
Oh, it's
Unlike
so beautiful.
our personal lives, it looks so serene and
so
pastoral.
organized. Yeah.
That must be delightful. Okay, saddest news overnight. Sam Shepard passed away. This was actually on the 30th. This was on Sunday. Passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease. He was 73. It's interesting because I actually read about him as a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright first.
Right.
And so I'd seen a couple of the things that he'd done. And then when he went into acting, everyone's like, how could you degrade yourself by going to Hollywood?
Ew.
But that is how everybody mainly knew Sam Shepard. He was in Days of Heaven and The Right Stuff. He was in Baby Boom. And he was really funny because he was very, very reticent and very, very sort of like tall and rangy and silent-esque.
He was.
When he came to acting, he was very, very good. But it's funny that so few people actually knew him as a playwright. He would Pulitzer Prizes. He was incredible, but
Very cool.
Very sad.
Very sad though.
Yeah. So he did pass away on Sunday. But he ended in a very nice way at home in Kentucky, the way he wanted to.
There you go.
And he had left Hollywood. He had left all of that scene very gracefully about 5 or 10 years ago. And so it's a shame, but he did it exactly how he wanted it, and I think that's wonderful.
We have a story, a Utah story here, but first, I would like to complain.
Why are we complaining?
Oh, really? Do you have amnesia now?
Oh, no, there's many things to complain about, but what in particular are you going to whine about now?
Moving thing.
You mean the 14 hours of living HE double hockey sticks?
14 hours.
Because you have to remember, we'd moved for 3 straight days to the new house, and then Todd said, this is only going to take those movers like 2 hours to get this done.
Ask me about my core. Go ahead, I
Yeah.
dare you.
About 11 o'clock last night, I'm
It
like, do you guys want to
hurts.
just sleep on the sectional tonight? Because they were adorable. I'll show you pictures tomorrow, because they were just like the cutest group ever of guys.
And I've got something.
moving our underwear and socks.
At the end of the show, I've got a video that I made because we had no Wi-Fi. How do I put the show together? We have that coming up.
I
But
had
you
not
know what?
realized how badly our Zoe is a daughter of like the new age, because she got on her iPad and she was trying to go through and she's like, I don't have any Wi-Fi here. I'm watching my 6-year-old's hands shake. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? There's no Wi-Fi.
Aaron did the same thing.
No, he didn't.
But
'Cause had my
I
phone.
will say this. You've gone through this. It started off as a carpet comes in, it's laid down, and Erin stands back and goes, perfect. And then they bring in a table, and they set the table down, and she goes, a little this way, and they go, a little this way, and she goes, oh. And then they bring in a vase, and they say, they put a vase, we don't even have a vase. Well, I don't
If
know
he
where
had
it
a
came
vase,
from.
they would have put
And
it
then
down.
they
though.
put the vase there, and then moved it and turned it a little bit, and it was like, oh, and that was about 8 hours in. By the time 14 hours came in, there was a chute throwing crap
Everything's in the garage,
in my garage.
probably including our clothes.
So this morning the conversation
I'm
was,
pretty much wearing what I wore yesterday to move.
do I have a toothbrush? Where's my underwear? Things like that.
We hope that your moves were better planned than ours. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Ouch. I want to tell you this story.
this is insane.
Beaver, Utah,
These poor little kids.
camping trip. 2 little girls, 8 and 16, go across a meadow. Evidently there was a storm. Lightning can travel 15 miles ahead of a storm, and they get hit. They get hit.
That is terrifying.
They got hit by lightning. Don't look at my story. They get hit by lightning, and basically they had a dog with them, and the dog saw what happened and ran back to the campsite and got help and
You gotta be
led
kidding
them
me.
back. Not trained.
I had not heard this part of the story.
Not trained for this. And the dog led the people right back. They got a helicopter down, boom, 200 miles back to, and they have some issues. I mean, they're working on it and stuff. But a lot of people, the last part of
But
the
they
story,
saved their lives. I mean,
he saved their lives. The last part of the story says authorities do not know the dog's breed. And may I tell you what the breed is?
awesome.
It's
That
a
is
mixed,
the dog's.
mixed breed between freaking hero and amazing pup. So the dog, just like Lassie,
That is amazing. Gil, on the other hand, would have stood there. What's going on?
Yeah, where's the food?
Our dog, yeah, he would have been
will
inconsolable for a full 5 minutes until you fed him.
I will save you if you have a treat. All right.
That's pretty intense. Okay, what's this?
I'm looking at.
There's a. That's subtle, baby. You know, I could read some of these too if you ever wanted to share.
You have plenty coming up today. Trust me. All right, here's the story. I have no idea. Do you see it? No. Anyway.
Right there on first. Right
where?
There. Right there.
This one?
I think so.
Okay. You know how hard it is to find babysitters?
Yeah.
And
babysitters you can trust.
And we're stupid because we only have like one. And the chances are we want to go out Wednesday night and maybe have dinner or something. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And so this lady, in the same situation, and I think we can all, feel empathy for this.
Sure.
So basically, she couldn't find anybody, so she had to take the baby on an armed robbery.
Well, those. What? I thought you were going to say like to work or something. Then she was going to go, hey, I had to bring the kid.
And the boss goes, that's okay. Let me hold the baby for you while you do your
yeah,
work.
We've all done these things before.
She sat in the car. Friend of hers had a gun, went in, convenience store, and robs the guy. And so she drives off, and they have a small accident. Baby's okay, but they took her to the Department of Family Services.
That's probably for the best at this point.
Her partner actually got and ran into the woods and shot himself, but he lived.
For a convenience store robbery?
I know, right?
Really?
You're sitting there chewing on a Slim Jim. Next thing you know, you shot yourself, and then next thing you know,
I'm really, really glad the baby's going to get into a better situation.
You didn't kill yourself?
These aren't people who think things through. So
I mean, the food at a convenience store is deadly enough.
I
Why? Never mind.
You were the worst person ever.
I'm using a mechanical pencil.
I've noticed that.
When's the last time you saw this?
Explain a mechanical pencil for those who have never witnessed such a thing.
You know what they are.
Well, no, some people don't.
Do you not?
Some people don't.
I'm thinking this came out of a time capsule. Hang on.
Here we go.
All right, hang on. I'm working with you here. All right. This is a mechanical pencil. If you notice the tip, when I do it like this, hang on 1 second, get out of the light, now I'm in the light again. Okay, here we go. So when I go like this, the lead, see it's getting longer and longer.
That's very exciting.
I don't know where that came from. I haven't used one in 20 years.
Why would we even have a mechanical pencil here at the newsroom?
Aliens came and visited us.
I mean, Patrick is perverse, our news director, but I don't even think he would want a mechanical pencil for
I have
particular reason.
I have a very serious story. I don't want any giggling on this. Okay, because this is medical. Okay.
You're getting giggle.
Is bigger better. Is bigger better. Swedish man underwent a certain procedure.
Enhancement.
Yeah,
an enhancement. A nail.
On his junk.
Enhancement. I think mine was a little classier, but go with it, honey. That's fine.
30 years old. At the end of his surgery, he died.
Why? What were they trying to do to him? It shouldn't have been that bad.
Do you realize that they take fat from another part of your body and then inject it into your hoo-hoo?
Girth enhancement? Yes,
They've done it on butts for a long time, and they say this is common.
I don't know how.
Let me ask the guys in the back.
No, traditionally, okay, the way this works
Have
is...
you guys ever done that, guys in the booth?
If I remember correctly, it was you that had
Okay,
that
I'm shutting the door.
Okay, well, there's two different ways that...
Being a donor.
There's two different ways they do that. Number one is that for length, what they do is they actually snip
Okay. Stop.
No, I was going to just say how
Stop.
two of the tendons that actually go
Stop.
through...
Stop.
And then... But that's...
Stop. You and your... So basically, an approximate 8,400 enlargements were done worldwide.
I don't think
despite
that's
the
common
risk.
Then. That doesn't count as common if that's worldwide. Now, did they say why he died?
Okay, I just want Look at my face.
Because apparently it's going to be from embarrassment.
Look at my face. Can you see how many jokes are rattling around in my brain right now that I cannot say? Do you see that? There's a little smoke coming out? Because you just handed me a line about junk and death.
It's called a phalloplasty. They didn't say how he...
Something about if it lasts more than 4 hours, but I'm not going to go there. So...
Okay, I think we should.
I'm not
I think we should
immature.
just. We're going to clean this up before
I'm
you
not
show the picture.
immature.
Let me explain this. Tell me something good.
Tell me something good.
Okay, this is really tough because you know how kids, you go to school, and this is a big deal because you want to be like everybody else. And I know we all go, stand up from the crowd, don't be like everybody else. But let's be honest, when you're a kid and you're going to school, you want to be like everybody else. You want to fit in. You don't want to stand out in any weird way that makes people laugh at you or give you crap.
As you get older, you
And then
blossom.
then you can develop individuality. But we all know that there's a rigid hierarchy, like in school.
Clothes.
So Anna Barbara Ferreira noticed that one of her little ones in her class was getting basically tormented by all the other kids. The little girl said that the boys told her that she was ugly and she was very sad. And apparently she had gotten a little haircut, and the boys apparently thought it was dumb, and so they mocked her. And so this little girl's sobbing because she'd come to school so proud of her hair. So Anna Barbara went to her stylist and had her hair done exactly the same way. Take a look at this picture. It is so sweet. And so when the boys came the next day, she's like, what's wrong with this hair?
I like her hair.
This is beautiful hair. So she styled her hair exactly like it. When the little girl saw the new hairdo, she said, today I'm beautiful. I'm like you.
Oh my gosh, she's always beautiful. You know that.
But I absolutely love this picture, the fact that the teacher loved this girl enough that she's like, I will totally do my hair just like yours.
It was awesome. Awesome stuff. I just
thought it was gorgeous.
If I did that and I went, I was in college and kids were mocking me, and the professor would go and he'd make his hair thin. He'd have thinning hair to help me feel better about myself. Let's get some
Maybe we
news.
should just go to Daisy and the Gephardt Daily News.
We're going to say that a lot, by the way, during the show. Maybe we should just...
I'm pretty sure that lack of sleep isn't helping anything here for
man.
Todd. Okay, Daisy, of course, is brought to you by Fink & McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. And by Executive Transportation, a fleet of elegant Escalades ready to take you anywhere you need to go. You can book your ride by going to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air 24-hour service. You can go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, good morning, sweetie. What's going on?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news Tuesday, August the 1st on GephardtDaily.com. A body found in the Jordan River has been identified as that of 44-year-old West Jordan resident Zafira Smith. Recovery teams from Unified Police and the Unified Fire Authority retrieved Smith's body from the Jordan River near 4500 South, July 21st, after it was discovered by a group of hikers walking along the Jordan River Parkway. Investigators have yet to release Smith's cause of death. They say their investigation is ongoing. Funeral services have been set for two Weber County couples killed Wednesday in a small plane crash on Interstate 15. Perry Huffaker, Ogden City's Director of Parks, will be memorialized with his wife Sarah at 1 p.m. Thursday at the Ogden Tabernacle. Services for Lane and Diana Clark of Taylor will be held the day prior at 1 p.m. Wednesday, also at the Ogden Tabernacle. The couples, who were longtime friends, had just taken off from Ogden Hinckley Airport for a planned Idaho vacation when something went wrong with a single-engine plane flown by owner and experienced pilot Lane Clark. The Beechcraft A-36 Bonanza crashed into the I-15 median, killing everyone aboard. No one on the ground was injured. Ironically, the crash happened 15 years and 9 days after Lane Clark's older brother, Corey Clark, was killed after taking off in a gyroplane from the very same airport. The FBI Salt Lake City Division has paid out the $50,000 reward to two men who provided information leading to the arrest of Lyle Jeffs and ending a year-long search for the fugitive FLDS church leader. The Bureau says the money was divided proportionally between the two men based on their level of assistance. The men were not named to protect their safety. Jeffs, a bishop in the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and brother of convicted child rapist Warren Jeffs, was on pretrial release while awaiting trial on food stamp fraud charges when he fled from home confinement in June 2016. In early June 2017, 2 men spotted Jeffs pawning tools in Yankton, South Dakota. They contacted authorities, who later busted Jeffs during a traffic stop. And now let's take a look at your Wasatch Front weather, where high temps will once again creep towards the century mark. Yes, the century mark. Sounds quaint, doesn't it? Well, it's bullshit. That's a polite way of saying we're going to see more demonic, soul-cooking temperatures over the next 3 days as we sit around sweating like Paul Newman and George Kennedy in Cool Hand Luke. That's right, Cool Hand Luke. Taking it off here, boss. Don't get it? Look it up, you vacuous millennial twerps. Damn things is blocking the scenery. But you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be hot, the kind of heat that makes your brain squirm like a Gila monster. Prompting visits from Jim Morrison and his semi-nude Indian pal. I can actually hear the hot, dry wind whistling through his loincloth now. Now that's hot. Chippendale hot. So hot it makes me want to sweat tequila, whether I've drunk any or not. I think maybe I should though, that's freaking hot. Overnight lows, by the way, will be in the 70s, and there's also a chance of afternoon showers. That's it for now. More news 24/7 on GephartDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my beloved Daisy. All right, I want to tell you about Fink and McGregor because we were having some lunch with Jeff Stout the other day, and I was getting all excited by what he was talking about. I had him laughing because I was telling him about somebody who was doing a mortgage right next to us at the title place, and we were selling our house. And the woman was bawling because I guess they had been there like for 3 hours just dragging through this mortgage. And he goes, "That is the saddest thing I've ever heard." Because here's the deal. It really does depend on where you go when you're getting your mortgage. It's not like it's not lengthy and exhaustive enough no matter what you do. But if you go to Fink and McGregor, the nice thing about it is they're broker. So that means they have like a zillion different options. So you may plug into something that somebody else may not fit into. But the point is what you'll get is exactly right for you. It's right for your situation. And it's going to work. And so you don't have to have this monster closing death of misery because they can't quite figure out all the details, or it got all squirrely, or nobody knows really what's happening. So it's very simple. If you just want to go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a 4-minute mortgage challenge. Just go there, go online, fill everything out, and within 4 minutes, boom, they can tell you what mortgages are available for you. It's that simple. You don't have to do the multi-hour exhaustive misery unless you really enjoy torturing yourself, in which case, by all means, I'm here for you. Fink-mcgregor.com. Okay, we were at Harry Potter's birthday yesterday. It was so cool. They were there at Salt Lake City Public Library, had a massive party, and it was so much fun.
How old is he?
He's 37. Can you believe that? That's how long it's been since the book came out.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, not 37 years, because as you remember, he turns 13, and that's the important age when he gets to go to Hogwarts.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Was the book, like, famous? I mean, did it do well right off the bat?
Yes, it was very funny because I remember reading, it was a woman's like magazine that I was reading something about like top entrepreneurs and top businesswomen,
Right.
what their favorite reading was, and they said Harry Potter, and I'm like, okay, you're like a Harvard graduate, and what are you reading? So I read the first book, and I was in love with it, and that's the one I remember, the first Summer of the Twins.
Right.
That's all. I read that to them over and over again. It was amazing.
Because it's like making up an entire story, and I know it sounds stupid.
The entire universe was incredible. I mean,
an entire reality, and it hit the button.
It
right
was
off
interesting.
the bat.
J.K. Rowling, before everything exploded to the point where she just couldn't anymore, children would write her and they would ask if they could be admitted to Hogwarts, because this was the reality she created. And she answered every one of those kids back, and it kind of explained about it and how much that she said, you were admitted into the Hogwarts of my heart, and I'm happy to have you there. And then, of course, she became like, you know, richer than the queen, and they couldn't. But in any case, let's go back to the library and the party, because it was so much fun. And our photographer, Richard, was down there and took a look at some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah, so he was born in 1980. So a lot of people think that, you know, he's like 32, but he is actually 37. Same birthday as J.K. Rowling. I mean, it's a cross-cultural phenomenon, right? So you have to think of it as it's a well-written book. So it appeals to all ages. It's not just for kids, it's for adults. And now we see there's like whole families are getting into it because the adults that were kids when it came out, or they've got their kids now, so they're bringing it in, and it kind of changed like the literature sphere for kids. There's lots of blew open the door for fantasy. A lot of fantasy writers for children now say that they got their inspiration from Harry Potter. So there's so many studies and articles out there about how Harry Potter got lots of specifically boys reading. So that's a huge thing. People are always talking about books that get boys engaged. So Harry Potter definitely blew open the door for that.
Sprouts.
Oh my gosh.
That was Professor Sprout, of course, showing them the Venus flytrap. Did you see the little boy with the glasses, the little tiny one?
If they could dress up like that every day, they would. You know that.
Oh, totally. Are you kidding? My kids were Harry
They
Potter.
would love that.
Our twins were Quidditch Harry Potter and regular Harry Potter for like 8 straight years. I'm like, you want to do anything else? No.
Yeah.
Harry Potter's great.
That's
All right,
it.
coming up next, the most awesome cat rescue ever.
And a dog rescue.
Wow.
Next.
All the pets. Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, so I have a story for you. I'm going to take you to Lyman, Maine. Please come along, shall we?
Is there lobster in Lyman, Maine?
There is. We're not going to say that though.
Okay.
Has to do with the dog.
I know, but my main focus of interest in Maine is the lobster. But we'll go with the dog. That's fine too.
The dog's name is Addie.
Okay.
Friend's house. Smelled gummy worms. Evidently, Addie loves gummy worms. Got into her purse. Ate the gummy worms, along with 25 oxycodone pills.
Like the Lortab? Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. How many?
25?
25. So the lady saw it.
Okay,
Also,
that would take out an elephant. That's not good.
lady saw the dog becoming lethargic, do you think? Ran over, saw the purse, some extra pills were there, the bottle was open, and she said, I have to do something. I have to go, I have to go, I have to go. Now in Maine, things are stretched out. I mean, sometimes
There's a lot of trees.
Sometimes when you go food shopping, you have to bring a cooler that kind of far away. So she's driving like a bat out of ye, and she sees 2 sheriff cruisers.
Oh, good. That's lucky. Wow.
She's like desperate. The dog's just like a rag doll. His tongue's hanging out. It's not going to make it. She pulls up to the cruiser. She goes, come here. And they run over because it's Maine and they care. She explains what happened. She shows them the bottle of pills. And they said, okay, all right, well, we're going to do it. Narcan. They go back in the cruiser. They pull out Narcan, the same stuff they used on people
Oh, that's right,
who overdose, which is a huge problem in Maine. And basically, you spray it up their nose. It's a gel. And they gave him half a shot. Half of the tube went up his nose. And then they sat there and they waited, and it didn't work.
Oh,
So they put the other half up his nose. And guess what? That's right. Addie came around. Her eyes rolled, and then she was like, "Okay, I'm fine. Let's go."
That is absolutely amazing to me how that works.
Works the same on humans. It just stops an overdose in its tracks. In this case, a dog.
I'm gonna have to research that more. Narcan just fascinates me, and they saved the dog, just like that.
I guess the nasal gel is one way, and the other is intermuscular, and it's a quick injection. But I think that's really cool. And she was smart enough.
And they saved Addie the dog.
I'm not sure if she even knew that they carry that on board their cruisers. But yeah, they do.
I just liked her faith in that she thought the police would be able to do something, and as
Right.
it turned out, they could.
There you go.
Okay, well, apparently, so can sea captains.
Sea captain.
Sea captains. I'm now going to take you down to Destin, Florida.
Okay.
He's a Florida charter boat captain, and he was taking his boat out, and he was going out into the ocean. He was in the bay,
Right.
and there was a big bridge that crosses over just
Always.
before you go out to the mouth of
Always
the ocean.
is.
And he was heading out. He saw something being thrown off the side of the bridge, and he was looking. And he went, "Oh my God, that's a cat!" So
Oh.
he like jammed down on his motor, got over there, and he saw these two big orange eyes looking up at him. And at first it looked like an otter, and he goes, "Oh no, it is a cat." So he threw a net over to get the cat. The cat held, it's a smart little fish.
Yeah.
And oh, it's just heartbreaking. And so he pulled the cat out, and the cat literally just held onto his arm like, "I'm not moving," the entire time. You've got to see this picture. This poor animal. Look at that
Look
face.
at those eyes.
Look at that face, though. That is a cat going, "I have seen too much." Look at that poor baby. And there's the bridge behind. And who would do that? So
You know what? He's a sea captain. You know what C stands for? Cat.
C doesn't stand for cat.
No, it doesn't. Sounds the same.
Okay, anyway, Captain Jordan Smith took this cat to the vet, made sure he's okay. Plans to adopt the kitty, but those eyes, those big staring eyes that said, "I have seen too much." I will never forget that poor cat's face.
If your cat jumped off a bridge, would you?
Yeah, so the kitties. Oh, look at that face, though. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever seen anything like those eyes before?
It's going to take years to get over that.
Man, he'll tell his other kitty friends, "Man, I was down there and there was
something
all the
happened."
fish and I still didn't even care. Man, I just wanted to get back home." So,
Mind
kitties are
blown.
saved, dogs are saved. This is a good day so far.
All right, so I'm going to tell you about this. Panhandlers. We have panhandlers.
We have a lot of panhandlers.
In certain parts of the world, they are very aggressive. They're more aggressive in San Francisco. We know that.
Well, there's a lot more laws that are protecting them, and so people.
And rightfully so, but for the really aggressive ones, a place, one of the food supermarkets, a privately owned one, they would be outside and they'd harass people going in. I'm sure these people are really nice, and I'm sure they donate to services for the homeless and things like that.
Which is what we are supposed to do so that you can help more people.
But the guy's business was going down the tubes because people didn't want to go there if they felt uncomfortable, especially older people. And his business was dying, basically. And then so they started a program called Safe Shopping Day. And
Explain.
It was for the news as well, to draw attention to the homeless situation. And then what would happen is these people would be stationed in the parking lot. And if you felt uncomfortable at all, they would walk you into the store.
It's actually sad it had to get to that point.
Right?
I mean, it really is.
Right.
Where you had to have volunteers to just walk you around. But I think but at least it's very sweet. At least they figured out a situation that would make it work.
And one of the things who it really helped was the elderly. I mean, because they're kind of frail and stuff, and they kind of
you
focus.
want confrontation. I just want to
Right.
go in. I want to
Right.
get my insure.
Yeah.
I want my TV guide, and I want you to leave me alone.
Exactly.
And it's
And they felt threatened and stuff. So anyway, nice community action. And they do care about the homeless, and they do.
Well, but you have to remember there's also a very big difference between the panhandlers and the homeless. And we talk about that all the time here in Salt Lake City because the homeless are a very at-risk population and they get preyed upon by drug dealers and a lot of other groups that are extraordinarily hostile. And panhandlers, most of the time, according to all the homeless resource people that we work with, are not homeless. So there's a very big difference.
I am going to talk about someone who is a giver.
Really?
And it's funny because we used this service when the boys were born. We needed breast milk.
There was Zoe. And Zoe was born.
Zoe too. And we went and there's a milk bank.
There's actually women who will donate extra breast milk in order to help other moms with babies who may not be able to.
And they freeze it, and then you get it, and they mail it to you, and it's all certified. They go through the whole testing thing.
And it is liquid gold.
Right, it is liquid gold.
Expensive, but worth
Expensive.
every drop.
All
Every
right,
drop.
so Anderson Sierra, she said it's a part of her life. It's just a part of her life. She has a little baby, Sophia, and she's been feeding about 20 to 28 ounces a day.
Go
There's
Sophia.
Sophia. And
Oh,
so,
that is the cutest picture.
yeah.
I love you, Elizabeth. You're a great mommy.
She has something called hyperlactation syndrome.
So she's getting a lot, isn't she?
She has donated over 600 gallons.
Gallons?
Gallons. She's
Okay, when you do it, you do little ounces. You do little tiny,
Right.
delicate ounces. Gallons?
1.7 gallons a day.
I'm so jealous.
She is a person who, can you imagine how many babies that helped? Can you even imagine?
Especially at-risk babies, and what it does for these kids is beyond anything that I can begin to express. And the more you research about breast milk, and you realize how crucial it is. But this girl, gallons. Who gallons?
600 gallons a year.
Every one of us moms who have nursed, picture gallons. Gallons.
They call her the milk goddess.
Yes, she is a goddess. Are you kidding?
And they do.
Oh, look at the babies. Look how cute.
I know.
Oh my gosh,
they
so
give
darling.
her a dollar an ounce, which is not much at all.
Not for what she's doing.
But she's going and
I
she's
would give her
doing
my
this.
car. Oh my gosh, that's
Gallons.
amazing.
1.7 gallons a day.
That is the coolest thing.
And you feed your baby 20 ounces.
Hyperlactation.
How many babies is she taking care of a day? That's pretty cool.
Okay, Wisconsin, this is the big day.
We talked about it. Today's the day. There's a company there, and they wanted to make life simpler for their employees. And so they initiated a plan, and the plan was to embed a chip into this part of your hand. Right
The
there.
webbing between your thumb and forefinger.
Right
Pretty
there.
simple, yeah.
And the chip is the exact same kind of chip that they use on pets.
Now, it's really no bigger than a grain of rice. It's not like it's a hugely intrusive thing. But what they're saying
Intrusive, it's a...
Well,
go ahead.
what they were saying is, well, this will, this way you don't have to have a fob to get into your secured area of the building, and you'll be able to purchase snacks in the cafeteria using your chip. Now, to me, I'm sorry, but the minute you come up with this sucker for me, you go, I'd like to chip you, and I'm like, what other applications does this chip possess? And really, you're going to chip me so I can buy snacks in the cafeteria more conveniently? So I was thinking everybody would go, no, we're not going to do that. 50 people lined up to get chipped today. 50 people. Oh. Would you do that?
Yeah.
You'd do it just on principle because it was weird, wouldn't you?
I just walk around going, I've been chipped. 50 people.
50 people.
It is a novelty. And you can use the printer, you can turn your computers on, you can do all that stuff. It works the same as a fob does getting into a building.
Look,
It's
I
an
won't
interactive
even
thing.
get a flu shot in winter because I believe it's the national government's way of tracking us.
Tell people-
And they want to chip you.
Tell people more about the vaccine thing that you hate, that you will never do.
No,
Because
I'm
of
not
the
going to
go-
get. I don't want
because-
to get the flu vaccine because usually it doesn't even go for the right strains of flu.
And the
number two,
government knows where you live.
This is where the government is tracking us through the flu vaccine. It's true.
All right.
It's true. Sorry.
All right.
It's true.
All right. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about inner city life?
Oh wow,
Inner
the
city life.
millennials. Yeah, let's talk about that next, shall we?
Yeah. About
Come here in
cows.
just a minute.
It's coming up.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com. All right, this is so bizarre to me. Now, I want you to picture this. Millennials, they live in kind of an interesting digital world, and they're very introspective.
May I say something?
Yes.
I think people trash the millennials
The millennials?
too much.
Well, I don't think so. There's nothing wrong with the millennials. They're
Oh,
delightful.
really? You don't see that there's a war against them right now?
Are we really going to go into this now?
They live in their basement. They don't want to do a 40-week job. They don't.
Okay, this is troubling. Okay, while they may have spotted a cow on television, 10% of the millennials are so unfamiliar with the countryside that they have never actually seen a cow in real life.
Oh.
1 out of 8. 1 out of 8 millennials has never seen a cow in real life. Now, there's also some troubling things about, for instance, fruits and vegetables. More than half of those polled didn't know that strawberries are a summer fruit. 9 in 10 didn't know that turnips are best grown in winter. 4 in 10 confessed that their knowledge of the countryside is extremely poor.
Because they're in their mom's basement?
No, because they're city dwellers and they just never leave.
In their mom's basement.
Nature is not in their thing. 1 in 8 millennials doesn't know what a cow looks like in real life. Does that concern anyone? I'm not even saying like a gazelle or anything. It's a cow. It's like possibly the most ubiquitous farm animal ever. And 1 in 8 millennials don't know what it is.
First, you're picking on the millennials, now cows. Really?
No, I love the cows.
Can I see the first picture
the
of the
cows
cow?
are ubiquitous.
First picture of a cow, because I worked on a dairy. Yeah, see what they can do?
They can lick their own nose. Now that's nice.
And the funny thing is, I've cooked cow tongue before, and now I have this picture stuck in my brain.
Oh.
All right, let's go.
Let's just move on, shall we? Because
Let's
you're
do
creepy.
that, yeah.
All right, we got to go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is
Right
brought
up
to you
the old
today
schnoz.
by Fink and McGregor. It is mortgages made simple. All you have to do is go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also, executive transportation. There's a beautiful Escalade waiting to take you anywhere you need to go. All you need to do is go to Executive Utah to book your ride. And then, of course, also by Black Diamond Experts. That's electric, plumbing, heating, and air. You'll be glad you called an expert. BlackDiamondExpert.com.
Hello again, Todd and Erin. Here's a look at national and world news on GepardtDaily.com. The mooch is toast. Anthony Scaramucci, the foul-mouthed Trump communications director named to the post just 10 days ago, has been fired by incoming Chief of Staff John Kelly. The White House says the move gives Kelly a clean slate and the ability to form his own team. Kelly delivered the news to the mooch himself. He was then escorted from the White House grounds. Scaramucci's removal comes 3 days after he gave a profanity-laced interview to the New Yorker magazine, blasting then Chief of Staff Rance Priebus and Chief Strategist Steve Bannon for allegedly leaking White House information. A federal judge has found former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio guilty of ignoring a judge's order to stop racial profiling in immigration enforcement. U.S. District Judge Susan Bolton said Arpaio is guilty of contempt of court for detaining people based only on the belief that they are in the United States illegally. Sheriff Joe, the self-proclaimed toughest sheriff in America, now faces a sentence of up to 6 months in jail. Sentencing is set for October 5th. The city of Los Angeles has reached an agreement with the International Olympic Committee to host the Summer Games in 2028 instead of 2024. Los Angeles had been competing with Paris to host the 2024 Games, but ultimately accepted the IOC deal guaranteeing LA the Games in 2028. The United States last hosted the Summer Games in Atlanta in 1996. Los Angeles has hosted the Games twice before in 1932 and 1984. That's it for this edition of World Headlines. For more news from around the globe and here at home, go to GepardtDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. All right, Black Diamond Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They say that they're Black Diamond experts for a reason, because when they come into the house and you've got a problem, they're going to go through the whole thing with you, and they're going to explain what they're seeing, what's going on. Then they'll give you a bid. Now, when they actually finish the job and they do it neatly, they do it well, they have someone who's licensed, bonded, and insured showing up at your house, they will give you the bill, and it will be exactly what the quote said. Because there's nothing that drives me crazier than someone goes, oh, well, there's extra special fees I didn't share with you, sorry. No, these guys basically stand by their word and they do what they're supposed to. Now, the nice thing about it, though, about having an expert is they can cover literally everything in the house that can possibly go wrong, unless like the roof explodes. In that case, you got a bigger problem and you might need to call a witch doctor. But for everything else, Black Diamond Experts, electric, plumbing, heating, and air, they've got you covered. So just go to blackdiamondexpert.com for more information and book in any kind of appointment you need.
All right, I am going to show you
Ordinarily, I would
house.
be 100% behind this because you know how I am about Star Trek. I mean, like, I would be totally behind this. But
Right.
sometimes you can be overly invested.
Well, here's the deal. This house is owned formally by the person who started Penthouse magazine. Now, I think you know where you think. You're thinking, oh, it's going to be all right.
Like lots of nudie bits and stuff. Yeah,
no,
lots of
no.
statues of like
No, that's
nymphs
yeah,
and things.
no. 27,000 square feet.
That's like a Walmart. Okay.
It is like a Walmart, isn't it? Here's a weird number, though. It's got 9 bedrooms,
That's all?
27,000 square feet,
18 bathrooms.
16 bathrooms. So the ratio is 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms.
How many people do you know who need to pee that fast? I mean, seriously?
Well, it's probably because it's 27,000
so you get tired
square
and you
feet,
need a rest stop before you move on.
and you got to stop.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
It's not like you can have porta potties down a hallway. So now you can do that. And so basically, Sotheby's has got it now. And they said it's a very unique opportunity and offering.
You know what? Whenever they say that in real estate, you know you're in trouble. This is a unique property.
Now
it's just very special for just the right buyer. They're going to love it.
This is what they're playing down. They're playing down the fact that it has a Star Wars theater and memorabilia as of 3 years ago when they tried to sell it then. They didn't get any kind of offer, and so they're doing this huge push and this huge advertising campaign and this giveaway and all this stuff so realtors would get in there, and they're expecting 400. Now here's the did I mention it's on sale for $30 million?
That seems overly ambitious. I could be wrong.
It was appraised 2 years ago for $6 million.
All right, then you might be a little bit optimistic. That's all we're saying. A little
And
optimistic.
I love this quote. It only takes one person. Which is my dating strategy in high school. but it only takes one person.
Did you show the picture, by the way, of this exquisite thing again?
I'm not sure. Did we?
Could you show that
I'm
again?
not sure.
Okay, that's the theater room.
So he says we're really downplaying it because it's known the property is better known for just being wonderful.
No,
not
it's
the
known as
theater.
the Star Trek house. Let's
It's
just be
gotta
honest.
be.
It's the
gotta
Star
be.
freaking Trek house.
Yeah, and you know that guy was single.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was probably his mom's house.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, no, it's good. All I'm saying is I don't know if they are marketing it right. They should stop downplaying that and they should play it up. Like there's got to be some
tried that.
obscenely wealthy Star Trek freak somewhere who wants it.
27,000 square feet. It's a
There's
convention
rich
center.
Star Trek geeks.
Right.
There's rich ones.
I learned something from someone here about Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's happening right now, today. I'll tell you what is next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, welcome back. Todd and Erin Show, and this is kind of interesting. And imagine this. Over 500 communities in Britain have decided to go play out. It's an initiative they started doing. So what they do is they block off the streets.
Why are they blocking the streets off?
So the kids can play in the street like
Run back and forth?
Run back and forth like we did when we were kids. Because most of these are not. They don't have parks like you're seeing here. It's like on a street like brownstones where there is no yards, and the only place they can play is in the street and around the parked cars. So they decided, you know what we'll do? There's other ways to get places around it. So they've been blocking off streets, and guess what? These pale little creatures came out of basements, dropping their phones and their iPads and going into the street.
It's so bright.
And it was bright. They passed out solar glasses, and they suddenly started to run.
Well, you know what's really cool about those?
Tag, you're it.
No, but this is perfect for our street. I mean, we had families that moved in, Zoe's got these new friends, Marina's kids, and then, Augusta's kids. And all of a sudden there were like scooters and bikes and stuff on the lawn, and the kids were running back and forth and being friends and just spontaneously hanging out with each other. And I'd realized we had this weird, restricted sort of ordered life where you organized play dates, where you went to things like the theater and the museum, because we didn't have any kids in the neighborhood. So, but the thing is that one of us has to be outside all the time, like watching the street, so that nobody's getting hit.
Right.
And I love that vision now that there's scooters everywhere and kids are running around. It has changed the whole complexion of the neighborhood.
Isn't it odd?
And if we had closed off, can you imagine if we could close off the drive there, how much fun that would have been? But
because they don't have green spaces
so
to go
imagine
to.
for them, yeah.
So they're think of the Bronx in New York City. Just being able to come out and run around and grab a bike and do all this stuff, which they couldn't do before. My mom, I'd eat breakfast and then she said, "Come back when the street lights go on," and I was gone, like all day, in the swamps, catching pollywogs, jumping my bike over barrels, hurting myself incredibly, doing stuff like that. And seriously, when the night street lights came on, pedal home. And that's the way it was my entire childhood.
Well, and we can't do that now, but at least if we could let them play, I think that's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, they talked about a lady who had postpartum depression, and she goes, just watching all the kids and stuff had an effect on her. Safety in the neighborhood went up. People got to know each other. Then you're watching out for each other, and it's just, you imagine that. If you close off the street, people would come out of their basements. The kids are healthier, too.
Well, of course they are. You're actually out doing like normal child things the way you're supposed to be.
This is kind of a crazy thing.
Explain this story to me, because now I'm very drawn to because you addressed food issues and I'm starving.
Well, there was two guys, and they were in Kansas, and they are at the University of Wichita. And the two of them decided they were going to start a business as entrepreneurs. Yeah, and this is back in 1958.
Oh, okay.
So they created something we like to call Pizza Hut.
No way.
They did the
These
still
were
students.
the sacred creatures that created Pizza Hut?
Still students. And
Pan pizza.
And what they did is they found the original Pizza Hut. There it is.
No way!
I know.
Look how little and adorable it is.
Looks like a grist mill.
Seriously?
1958, they got the building, right? And you know,
And it really is kind of like a hut.
it is.
So
the
it worked out perfect.
university decided to move it. Well, actually, yeah. Take another look. Look at the next one. So 1958, and this obviously is the
Today.
modern version. But they decided on that brick building to move it on campus to give everybody inspiration about hard work and initiative.
That's actually not a bad idea. Although I think
Leadership.
I think the best way to do that would be by giving them all a free slice of pizza as they passed by the historic site, and then as they ate it, they could reflect upon the can-do entrepreneurial spirit.
And as the buses unloaded to go to this sacred place, they would. And you know what this made me think of? It made me think of the fact that
Your newfound love of.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. By the way,
he's developed an obsession which.
no, what I've developed is this. This is my I don't smoke 20 pounds.
I don't care. I would rather have you have Kentucky Fried
And I'm
Chicken.
hungry all the time, and it's killing me. And so basically, Kentucky Fried Chicken, State Street, 3900 South, the very first one. Number one, not in Kentucky. Number two, something else. So I just found out that...
Why did you have to tell him this, by the way? Because where do you think we're going today?
Where did I put the... Oh, here it is. Here it is. So, it's Tuesday. Now, at this Kentucky Fried Chicken, and this one only, on Tuesdays they have a buffet. Who knew? They have a buffet.
All you can eat chicken.
And if you go in and,
And
you,
like the coleslaw and like all of the
you,
little
can do, you
biscuity
can do the
things.
baked and the fried. And yeah,
It's a buffet every day.
it's a buffet every
Oh,
day.
but
Every
it's to-
single day.
What- why is
7
it Tuesday?
days a week.
Today it's because they do the chicken fried steak and you could have the chicken fried steak put on the buffet should you request.
$11 of money well spent. I think Chuck-A-Ram's like 12.
I think we're going to Kentucky Fried Chicken to the buffet today, aren't we?
If I had an RV, I'd park it outside. And I would live there.
You know, it's still extra crispy for me. I don't care.
No, you can't. I feel guilty when I eat the extra crispy.
Well, the
'cause
funny part, though, is you know how Zach.
where's the meat?
Our teenager Zacky's all about the breading, so he'll keep peeling the extra crispy
gosh.
breading off and keep peeling it and going, I'm getting away with murder because there's no actual chicken under
it's
this.
It's too
He's
guilty.
so happy.
When I finally get to a piece of meat and the extra crispy thing, I feel relieved, like my mom is going, "Good for you, Todd."
You found the protein. The whole point of extra crispy is that it's the extra crispy.
What time
It's
do
supposed
they?
to be its job.
What time do they open?
Probably 10 or
Find out.
11.
All right, so there you go. Have you?
Now I'm starving.
I am starving now.
This is nothing about entrepreneurial spirit. Now this is just about basically sticking our face in
Dirty,
the buffet.
rotten dogs. And you know he lived in Canada? The Colonel?
Really?
Lived in Canada for like 15 years.
I did not know that.
Yes. With his herbs and spices that makes me crave it fortnightly. I have to tell you, have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
Once
Did you?
on the
New York?
Canadian side.
Oh, foreigner. I've been there. If you've gone there, and if you know, they have a little boat that goes in, and tourists, and you wear a poncho, and it's very cool. Did you know they can turn it off?
Niagara Falls?
They can divert. There's a Canadian side and a U.S. side, and you can actually.
What is that?
They actually, that's something in the water. They actually can turn off like 80% of the water going over the falls in case they have to do anything.
I know.
And of course, idiots jump in barrels, and that was a big thing back in the 40s and
good for
30s
you.
and 20s that you'd throw yourself in a barrel and take yourself over. It didn't work out for many
No,
people.
most of them no.
Here's the problem.
Okay, go back to the what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that
If
thing?
you look at that picture again,
Yes, please.
what you see is a black lagoon.
What is that?
Something really smelly. See, evidently, there is a water treatment plant there, and they filter stuff. And in this case, they flushed the tanks in the bay that they hold this stuff in, and they didn't tell anybody. Well, I don't care if you tell someone. That's just
I think
gross.
you should have warned somebody, or maybe not did it at all.
So it went.
Look at that.
It went over the falls, and it smelled like. Yep, that's what it smelled
That
like.
is freaking nasty.
So you can be a tourist. You can see it's just about to go
Look,
over
it's
the falls.
nature's beauty.
Right.
Okay, wait, that's poop. Oh my gosh.
So when you get on the boat, which is called the Maid of the Mist,
Yeah, that's right.
it's been in so many movies.
Yeah.
Right, and you go out there. It's now Prince of the Pooh. You have to change the
That
boat
is
name,
so disgusting.
isn't it? Especially if you're.
And it's the height of tourist season. I'm sure the boat captain's like, thanks so much for that.
Well, it's also back east. It's a destination for honeymoons.
Not
And
this time.
It's just huge. Talking about interrupt this. You know what we were talking about the other day? We were talking about the fact that there's
Salt Lake City has a good chance
there's
at
a
Winter
lot
Games.
at the Winter Games again,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this. I read something else, and about 4 years ago, it started bubbling. The fact
Oh,
that
MJ on Facebook Live says that the buffet opens at 10:30, and then she added a Satan face to it. Thank you so much for that, MJ.
right after the Pooh story.
I don't care. 'cause
I don't
it's
care
still
either.
The Kentucky
I
Fried
don't
Chicken
care
buffet.
either. What time? 10:30.
10:30. Yeah, 10:30.
So basically, where was I?
We were back to
Oh! About 4 years ago, we started.
Olympics.
There were rumbles of well, why don't we have? Because very few people want the Olympics now, believe it or not, because it costs too much money.
Build the infrastructure. Yeah.
The last where was the Summer Games?
Oh yeah, Brazil.
Brazil got their butts handed to them,
Well, yeah, they have 8 gigantic soccer stadiums in the middle of the jungle now. I mean, it's like
which they played 10 games in. Meanwhile, their people don't have fresh water, and now they're just going crazy and protesting all this stuff. So anyway, they came out, the Olympic Committee, they came out, the IOC, and instead of announcing one, they didn't want the second one to get away, so they announced both Summer Games, and this is for 2024 and 2028.
okay.
And so LA has got the Los Angeles has got the 2028.
2028s, and then Paris has the 2024s, right?
Yeah.
Now, doesn't that help us though that Paris has the 2024s? Because as I recall, they wanted it in separate countries. So I mean, if the next games move to another country, so it's not all squooshed together, right?
Yeah, and also Summer Games, different Winter Games, and you have to rotate, like you said, different countries. So that sets us up because we have all the infrastructure, right?
And we all still use it, which is the
Right.
nice thing. Nobody else does that. They let
Big ski jumps that you kill yourself on. We've got the luge, which you kill yourself on. We got the curling thing up north, which you.
No, you're
No.
fine there.
Yeah, you're
that
fine.
part's okay.
And then the ice rink for the skating and all that stuff. We still have all that stuff, and they're thinking, well, why don't we do that here? Because all the people around the world come and train here anyway, and we still have every single thing that we built for the Olympics. Our cost would be nothing. What's the income there? Billions of dollars? I think it's a good idea.
I think so too.
I think it's a good idea. They still have the parking lots up by Park City.
Isn't it
Out in the
funny?
middle of nowhere.
I know.
That they had to build for the shuttle buses. And they put up temporary villages with mobile homes. Those are gone, but the parking lot's still there. It's all lit and everything. There's no cars in it.
A little lonely, but it's there.
Right. Anyway, so back to the moving thing. I hurt last 3 days, and we
Yeah.
hired a moving company. So we moved for 2 days all the odd things, the fishing rods and the this, that,
Things
and the
that are hard
other.
to pack, yeah.
The things are hard to pack, and we're only 2 blocks away. And so we did all that for like 3 days, and then we said, okay, boom, moving company's coming in yesterday morning.
Todd's going 2 hours. 2 hours tops.
Let's go 4. They're gonna. 12 hours.
Yeah.
12 hours. And like we said earlier, first you start arranging a vase, and next thing you know, people are using shovels to put that crap in your garage you just want it over with, and it's dark. Now at that point, I suddenly realized, because usually during the day I'll go through and I'll pull some stories and, find some quality entertainment for you, and realized that it was 10 o'clock and I had not done it yet. And people here are going to pull images and stuff like that you see in video and things like that, kind of make things move along and make it pretty for you. And I hadn't done it yet, so they didn't have anything to work with. And I looked at Erin. Oh, only if KFC had Wi-Fi, because our Wi-Fi wasn't set up yet. So every device we have in the house is nothing. So I started looking around going, okay, I wanted to look online. Who's got Wi-Fi? I can't. Why? No Wi-Fi. And so finally, I remember Erin, I said, isn't that McDonald's down on 7th East? Don't they have Wi-Fi? And she goes, yeah.
24 hours a day.
So it's 10 o'clock. I'm really tired. I mean, I am really tired, and I was working for you. And so and apologize for the quality on this, because, well, we'll see you tomorrow. It's the Todd and Erin Morning stream at GetPartDaily.com. Here's me at my worst.
All right, hi everybody. Sorry to bother you. It is 10 o'clock, and I have finished a hard day of moving, getting my family into a place. We've all worked very hard. It started at 10:30 this morning. It's now 10 p.m. And unfortunately, I don't have anything ready for the show tomorrow. So I don't have any internet, and so because of that, I have found myself in a location that looks something like, McDonald's. I am in the kids section by the ball pit of McDonald's restaurant on 7th East and about 3rd South. So that is my reality right now. I can show you some other people. They're over there. Got them. It's great. I'm the only person in here. For a while there were some kids, and that made me feel kind of creepy. So basically the speed of the internet here, I just have to keep eating to actually get that Wi-Fi. So so far the speed of the internet here is, let me go through it for you, okay? All right, so I found this interesting story about millennials, and I don't know why everybody's so mean about them. I don't, it's different generation. They're going to do different things. I'm sure, my parents, the greatest generation in the world, think we were all scumbags. So, I mean, there's really no winning, Okay, so what do we want to do? Okay, this is how it works. Oh, I probably shouldn't have a pinup girl on my... I should probably have a pinup girl on my desktop when I'm in the kids section at, at McDonald's. Okay, let's turn that off really quick. All right, so I'm a little punchy. So I'm going through like this. So here's what I'm looking at. I got one of my favorite sites, and I'm kind of looking for stories. We're going to talk about the move too. This is just one of those videos that I hate. I just realized I'm making one of those. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I apologize. I wish I had something to say that was dynamic, but then again, every time I see one of these, they don't say anything great. It's always like, oh, the other day I was thinking, and we don't care. I just thought it was weird that at 10 o'clock, I am in the kids section at McDonald's using their Wi-Fi to get ready for a show tomorrow, and the speed of this Wi-Fi is not going to happen. So tomorrow we'll be winging it at 7 o'clock on the Todd and Erin Morning stream at GetPartDaily.com, because I don't know if I can get enough done here. They're open 24/7 though, but if I eat one more hamburger, I am going to explode, and well, probably no, I'm probably not going to go to the bathroom in the next 3 or 4 weeks, so that's good. All right, so in closing, there's a point to this? No, there isn't. Number one, don't move, ever, ever. If you do, simply step outside and light the place on fire. You don't need any of this stuff you're carrying anyway. You really don't. And just don't move. And if you're having a breakup with your spouse, your specials, don't make up, because moving is horrible, and it'll cause tension, and you realize suddenly that you have a bunch of crap that you never actually even cared about.